welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Christina Pretty, better known as the Seamless Knitter. This is a podcast all about seamless knitting and crocheting. This is episode 9. It is Sunday, September the 1st here in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. You can find me and all of my seamless pattern designs on Ravelry. You can also find me on Facebook, my website, and Instagram. Everything I talk about will be linked in the show notes below this video, as well as my email and mailing address in case you would like to get in touch with me. So today's topic is about the RHEA top, but before we start, pour yourself a beverage of choice, grab your knitting or whatever you're working on, and let's SSK for a bit. So before we start, I'm going to announce the winner of the free draw for May's podcast. And I know it's been a while. It's actually been 3 months since I've podcast, and I'm well aware of that, but I have a reason, as I mentioned in my May podcast, why I would be on a bit of a hiatus for the time being, but I'm back. So anyways, this winner might not remember that she put her name in for the draw, but I haven't forgotten. So anyways, I will post the name here of the winner, and it is at Anne's Felted Friends. So I assume your name is Anne. So congratulations, Anne. You have won the coffee cup cozy pattern. So please send me an email and I will send it to you. So next I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing, and this is my silk screened sheep t-shirt that I purchased last October at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So I'll just stand up because you can't see it, and this is just a gray t-shirt with a black sheep on it, and I love it. So I can't remember the actual vendor that was selling them at the time, but they had quite a few different sheep motifs on them, and this is the one that I picked. So anyways, speaking of the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, I won't be attending it this year, but I will next year, and I've got some exciting news. I am working with a travel agent that we're trying to organize a bus trip to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, and I'd like you to come along with me. So I'm going to be the host along with the travel agent, and this will be for October 2025, and we would be leaving right from Peterborough. So I will be putting the word out there, as well as they will, announcing where the pickup spots will be, if there is any, and all the other information about the trip will be announced on my next podcast. Hopefully I'll have more information for you, but it will be a 4-day bus trip, and we would leave right from here, and we would stop at Hobby Lobby and Joann's on the way down to our hotel, and there should be breakfast included in this hotel, hopefully, wherever we're staying. All the details are being worked out as we speak, and then we would be going to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival for 2 days, so the Saturday and the Sunday, and going out for dinners and knitting together, hopefully, and it should be a great time. We get to knit all the way down and all the way back, and while we're there as well, this is a great time for you to meet new people, be with like-minded people. Everybody's welcome to come, whether it be your husband, your friends, your children. You know, we're just going to fill a bus. So once the bus is filled, we'll see how that goes, and if there's a waiting list, then, and we need 2 buses, then we'll take 2 buses, I guess. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, but I really felt there was a need for this because everybody wants to go to this fiber festival. It's the largest fiber festival in the world, and I've been to it a few times now, and I really enjoy it. And it's one big fashion show. Everybody's wearing their hand knits. There are so many lovely vendors inside and outside. It's you meet all the celebrity designers there and all the podcasters. There's a lot of food trucks and vendors inside that are not all fiber related, but there's everything from knitting, crocheting, weaving, spinning, felting. There's sheeps there, all different kinds of breeds, and auctions going on, and dog demonstrations, and it's just so much fun. So if you've never been, I would highly, highly recommend it. And if you would like to come and don't have a way there and want to be amongst knitters and crocheters and fiber friends, then this is the place to be. And if you want to leave your name in the comments below or get in touch with me through email to let me know that you want to go, I will be reaching out to different vendors that I've met, and maybe yarn shops and different things like that, to put the word out there. Please share the word and get in touch with me if you'd like to come. It's on a first come, first served basis, so once the bus is full, then we can reevaluate how many people would be on a waiting list for next year, like the following year, and we can plan accordingly to that. So there is a few people on the list already, so I would highly get your name on there. And this doesn't mean it's set in stone right now. This is just that you're interested in going, and once I have more details on the next podcast, I will be putting out there on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe even on my Ravelry page, and wherever I can announce it, and give you all that information on my next podcast. So we're still working out all the details. So that's exciting news, and I'm really looking forward to it, and getting to meet new people. So anyway, so that I'm just looking over my notes here because it's been so long that I've done this podcast. I'm kind of out of practice. So anyways, we're going to get into those finished objects now. And I said we'd be talking about the RHEA top. And this is a new design that I've done this summer. And I want to show it to you. I have 3 versions of it. And I'm going to show you the first version of it. And it's going to be test knitted starting this week. And once the pattern's available, I will announce that as well. So let me just show you the top first. This has not been washed or blocked or steamed in any way, and all the ends are woven in. One might be hanging out at the bottom because I haven't cut them off yet. I don't usually do that until after the fact, but I do have it on a hanger here just to show it to you. We'll talk about the design first, and well, actually, let me show you a picture of the pattern first so you can actually see the picture. Then I'll talk about the pattern and then the yarn afterwards, etc. So anyways, here is a picture of the front cover of the pattern. So you can see in the picture there was one picture wearing it over a dress and one picture wearing it with jeans. So you can dress it up or dress it down. So now I'll just get a close-up of it. So there's the neckline, the collar. And then you can see it is a top down raglan top, and you can see the raglan seams there. It's hard for me to see all this because I'm so close to the camera. So there is the sleeve and the cuff. Okay. And then the body of the top and the lace panel. Let me stand up a little bit so I can see it there. Okay, so we'll just talk about this for a minute. So this is version 1, and this has been knit out of, let me just put this down for a minute. So I wanted a summer top, and I've never tried this yarn before, so I wanted it a summer top. I wanted it budget friendly, DK weight, because DK weight works up a little faster, and I wanted something cool enough to wear in the hot weather that we have. And so I found this yarn and I thought it was great. So let me just show it to you. So this is a Lion brand product. It's called Kobo or Kobo. Yeah, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Kobo. Okay. So these little cakes, they come in little cakes. And there's 100 grams in the cake. It is 3.5 ounces. There is 232 yards, 212 meters. It's 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo. It's machine washable and dryable. And it's using 4mm needles. And this color here is called ice blue. But the one that I used in this top is called mauve or mauve, depending on how you pronounce it. M-A-U-V-E. Okay, so this is a top-down construction, and it's a different construction than I have designed before. So you start off by casting on your stitches, but not all of them. Okay, so you're working in the flat to start with. So you're working back and forth, knit and purl, it's stockinette. And then you are, after that's done and the neckline has been made to the depth that you want it, then there are some stitches that have been cast on, and then you join in the round. And then from there, you're working your increases the same way you were when you're working in the flat. Okay, so then you're working all your raglan increases and for the size that you're doing. And then you are splitting the, or dividing the stitches for the sleeves. So the sleeves go on hold. And then you're knitting, sorry, don't know what side to go on. Then you're knitting the body of the sweater straight. And then you're going to increase some stitches to get up to the number of stitches that will be divisible by the lace pattern.
And then you're going to do the lace pattern. And then you're going to add some ribbing on the bottom of that. Okay. So that is basically how you're doing it. This yarn is so soft and squishy. When you put it on your skin, you're feeling like you're wearing another skin. It just is so soft and cool to the touch and cool on the body that you don't feel like you're wearing anything, believe it or not. It is so nice. And I have had this top crumpled up in a bag this whole time for all summer. And you can take it out and it looks like brand new. Like you've never worn it, or it's just been freshly washed or steamed or pressed or something, because it doesn't wrinkle. So I think it would be a great traveling piece when you're traveling, when you're putting it in your luggage, and you know how things get all wrinkled up. This would be the perfect top for that. This could be an all-season top as well. It doesn't have to be just a summer top. You could layer over this throughout all year round. So anyways, this is called RHEA. The name, I picked this name because it was my grandmother's name, and my grandmother meant the world to me, and I just thought it's time to name something after her, and I could see her wearing this. So I have a picture of her here, and I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I just thought I would bring a picture of my grandmother. It's a really, really old picture and really, really faded. So, but I just keep it in my bedroom, and I just thought this would be special if I named this after her. Now, all of my patterns are unisex. So this top is not just for women. You can do just a plain one, and it can be a man's t-shirt as well. So I'm going to show you the one this is my works in progress. So this is all the same and included in this podcast. I'm just going to put it on a hanger for a minute. This is going to be the plain version that I'm going to show you, and you can buy that yarn in so many colors, like even white or gray would be nice for a man, or black, and just to do a nice t-shirt that they can wear, and it will look just like a regular t-shirt. So that's why I thought I would make myself a plain one to kind of show you what a plain one could look like as well. I bought some new linen pants, and they're just that oatmeal, beigey white oatmeal color, and I plan on wearing this top with those pants. So this here is a work in progress, like I say, and this was from some yarn that has been stashed years and years and years, and I finally am using it. It's a 100% cotton. It's not a mix. It is 100% cotton, and it was a kind of a boucle yarn that has thick and thin spots. So I'll just see if I can show this to you, what it looks like. I don't know if I put my hand behind it. There we go. So you can see how there is a real thin spot right here, but then it goes to a real thick spot. So you can see how thin then thick, and it's even, mind you, it is thin and thick. So So it does give some texture to the fabric for sure. And so because it's so textured, I didn't feel I need to put any pattern in it. I didn't bother putting the lace in it. I thought I'm just going to do this one plain because the yarn speaks for itself. And so this is very autumnal feeling right now with the rust color. Now it looks bright on the camera there because I have a light turned on over in the corner that is shining on it, but it is a lot darker. Let me see if I can find the yarn. Let me just grab a ball of yarn here. It's pretty dark, dark rust. But anyways, I don't know if that's looking better or that's going brighter there. So back here is darker. So it's more of a dark rust. And so here it is. You can see the sleeves and the detail of the seam there. It's a very fine seam. So I like that thin, fine seam. Looks more polished. There's the cuff. It's just a 1x1 rib. And the hem is the same. It's just a 1x1, if you can see it there, 1x1. And see what the fabric looks like. It's kind of bumpy, textured. You can see it there. There we go. The collar is not done. So I've got the stitches are picked up on the needles, and that's as far as I got. I was hoping to have this finished too, but I didn't get it done. So, and these tops are just for myself. And because I'm teaching this as a class starting this week, all my stitch markers are in for a reason to, for teaching purposes. So anyways, so that's the plain version. And I did this one more, a little bit more cropped for me than I normally do because my new linen pants are high-waisted and it's plenty long enough for that. And so I still have quite a bit of yarn left over from this one. So anyways, that is the plain version. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my third version. Just 1 second. I'm all tangled up here between my microphone and the yarn is going over it. Okay, so I'm just going to put this sweater on a hanger to show you as well. I didn't bring the yarn to show you that I use for this one. I'm a little unprepared and out of practice, that's for sure. So anyways, not to worry. I'm not going to stop the video just to go get it because I can always show that next time. Anyways, this is my third version, and if you're not a summer knitter, or you don't wear tops that you make in the summer and you're only a winter or a 3-season knitter, this here will be for you. So I used a superwash merino yarn for this, and now I think it was called Cascade. It was from Cascade for sure. Whirligig? Cascade Whirligig, if I remember. Anyways, it was in a large 200-gram cake, and there was 5 colors. So picture this 200-gram cake that was quite a big wheel. with 5 different colors in superwash merino yarn. And I'm not sure if there was a bit of nylon content to it or not. But anyways, I decided to, when I bought the yarn, I had no idea what I was going to make with it until I've designed this, and it was the same weight. So it's DK weight yarn. And I thought, hey, this would be great for this pattern, because once you have these basic patterns and you learn a different construction, you can knit other things. It's like a blank canvas, and you can do your own thing with it. So I thought this would be a perfect way to show you what other yarns you can use besides plain colored. You can use your hand dyed yarns or whatever you want, and once you have the pattern, you can pop in textures, lace work, color work, intarsia, farrow, whatever you want to do with it. So this yarn, I used it straight out of the cake and started knitting with it until the first cake was finished. After I did that, I had to do some yarn management to make it matchy-matchy, but you don't have to. So let me just show you. This is a different surprise. So there it all is. Okay, so I'm just going down, so I'm going to show you what I've done. So I did a little bit of different collar on this. I did a rolled collar. Now the collar, I forgot to mention, is picked up at the end when the whole top is finished. So you just pick up your stitches around your neckline and do your ribbing. Everything else is all in one piece. I consider picking up your stitches for the neckline all in one piece as well. I just like finishing the neckline that way because it gives you more options of how you want to finish your collar. So anyways, this was picked up at the end, and so you can see that there's ribbing to start, and then I did a few rounds of stockinette and cast it off, and it curls on its own, which makes it a nice finish. And then you can see the raglan seams there. And you can see the striping. So the striping is a dark brown and then into a goldy gold color. And then I would say a lighter green, like a light dusty green to a medium, I would say light green, medium green to a dark green to the chocolate brown to the gold again. And you can see the hemline there is a nice 1x1 rib as well. And then I just matched up the sleeves so that the stripes go right beside each other evenly. So when you're wearing it, except when it got down to the chocolate brown, I needed, of course you need, I'm going to stand up for a minute. You need a bit more length in your arms than you do the body. At least I do, because I have long arms. So I did more length in the brown than I did the gold. I really wanted to end on the brown, but I ran out of brown, so the gold had to go on. Okay, so that is the third version of the RHEA top. So we have the short-sleeved lace, we have the plain, and we have a winter version with long sleeves. So, and you can see that I just did some tapered, let me show you this, some tapered sleeves there. I have long skinny arms. So there we go. It fits me perfectly. I love it. It is so soft and nice to wear. And you know, I had 3 cakes. of this yarn, and I still have quite a bit left over even after managing the striping. But if you only had 2 cakes, which I do have 2 cakes of this yarn, a different color, I am going to do this sweater again using the 2 cakes without managing the yarn and see what happens. And I'll show you that on another podcast. So anyways, I'm quite pleased with this, and stitch markers and all, and still hanging out. I will look forward to wearing this sweater this winter. And I really enjoyed working with the yarn. So, so those are my 3 versions of the RHEA top. So let me just, so everything I design, knitting or crocheting wise, comes off the needles or hook in one piece. There's no sewing involved, only the buttons on a cardigan. I like to mention that because I don't like sewing. I used to sew all my garments together using the mattress stitch, and I don't mind a bit of that, but I found myself knitting the garment up quickly and taking longer to put it together than I did knit it, and I would procrastinate doing that and putting things in the closet and forgetting about them, or finding myself ripping out the whole project and using the yarn for something else. So I had to come up with a better way, and I've been doing this for probably 30 years. And there wasn't too many of us out there doing it, but now everybody's doing it, and it's nice to see all these people knitting top down seamlessly, and the designers coming out with patterns that way in all different constructions. Technology has come a long way in the knitting world, and I'm really happy to be part of this community and to see all it carry on to the next generation of teaching our children and our grandchildren how to knit or crochet is really exciting. So anyways, let me see. I didn't say this, but I will have inserted some pictures of me wearing the lace version of the top somewhere when I was, either now or when I was talking about it. I will have inserted some with the photo shoot that we took of the lace one. I haven't got any photos of the other ones yet, so let me see. Oh yes, I have done the math and grading for 10 sizes. So this is the adult version, and I will be coming out with a children's version, and they will be 10 sizes as well, from size 1 to 12, I believe. So I've got the pattern all finished. I just have to get it test knitted as well. So I get out one and then I'll get out the other one. So that is what I'm working on at the moment. And then my fall plans, of course, is getting the children's version test knit, and I have another sweater that I was working on that I finished that will hopefully get test knitted after this RHEA top. So let me see what's on my list. I won't have any free draw this month because I am not done with this pattern yet. So once it does get finished, it will be in the running for a free draw at some point. So anyways, I'm just going to show you some acquisitions that I acquired. And I had gone to the Kawartha. It was called the Kawartha. Let me see here. Just a minute. Oh yeah, sorry. The Kawartha Yarn and Fibre Festival. I had gone to that in June, and I bought a few things from there. I'll talk about that in life updates, and then I will put in some pictures at the end of that Fibre Festival. So what I purchased at that festival was this little wooden tool, which is a great little wooden tool to have. I'm just going to show it to you here. This tool is a gauge tool for one. So you have this little indent, which is right here. And so you can measure the gauge on your swatches with that. And you can also use it for the wraps per inch. So on this tool, there is lace weight, fingering, sport, DK, worsted, bulky, and super bulky. So if you can see here, this one is the lace weight. You can see the thickness of the line. You can see how thin that is for lace weight. So what you're doing with this tool is, if you have some yarn in your stash and maybe you've lost the label and you're not quite sure what thickness it is or what weight it is, then you can take that piece of yarn and you can just lay it over top of one of these lines, and you can see how they go from thin all the way down to the super bulky one there, which is thicker, the brown line. And when you lay your yarn over it, if the yarn covers the line on whichever one you try, say you started trying this one and you felt that the yarn was too thick for that, then you just keep moving your yarn down until you find the line that yarn covers. Okay, and then you know what weight of yarn it is. And then you can also double check it by wrapping the yarn around this entire section. So you would just take your yarn and wrap it around here. And when you wrap it around, you lay the strands of yarn beside each other. You want to wrap it, but not tightly and not too loose. And just wrap it on so that the wraps touch each other, but not to the point that you stretch it so and pull it so tight that you're making the yarn go thinner. And you don't want it on there so lightly that it's really well, you want it on there, but it will be plump, but just touching each other so that you can count how many wraps you get within that inch. And when you see how many wraps per inch you get, you go down on the chart where you laid your yarn on top of the line, and it will tell you how many wraps per inch. So for instance, the lace weight one would give you 36 to 40 wraps per inch, where the super bulky one will only give you 6 wraps per inch. So from the thinnest to the thickest. So when you wrap here on this inch, how many wraps you get, count your wraps, match it up with here, and that will confirm the weight of yarn that you have in your stash if the label's missing. But it's also good to check too, even if you did purchase the yarn and have the label, just to double check that you can pretty much tell, because sometimes yarn, they're all numbered now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Sometimes you can get a light worsted or a heavy worsted and you're not quite sure which one it is. And so you can always check with this tool, and you can always check by the needle size that's being recommended for that pattern as well. If it's a bigger needle, then you know that it's on the heavier side. So that just helps you when you're looking at a pattern and they're asking for yarn and you're not quite sure if it's on the thinner side or thicker side, or a true DK weight yarn or worsted weight yarn, whatever it is that you're going to be using is, then check the needle size. Check by putting your yarn over top of the line and then wrapping it, and you will really have a good answer to what you're going to do with that yarn and what you can make with it, and get better results and be happy. So I bought one of those. I had one but lost it, and so I've got to make sure I don't lose this one. So I bought that. I also bought some scraps of leather for, this is real leather for slipper soles or crafting. And it's just a package of leather. There's a couple different colors in here. She had packages of scraps just packaged up, and I just chose these colors. I thought they would be great for cutting out and using for slipper soles, and also for making labels for my knitting, that I can make my own labels with the Chicago screws, and I have a hole punch that I can, for leather, that I can punch holes in and make my own things. So I thought that would be great. The other thing that I picked up, I was in a store, and now this wasn't the craft show or the fiber show. This was just I think it was at a dollar store that I was at. I pick up these multi-purpose drying cloths that are super absorbent. They're like a ShamWow cloth that you would wash your car with and dry it off with, so it absorbs all the water. So this is just is one of those. I have a few of them, but these work out great for, this one's just that wide, and it's just a small one, but it's really, really thick and absorbent. And I find these great when you're blocking your knitwear, so that you can roll up your knitwear in this and squeeze out the moisture, and then you can just wring out the ShamWow cloth, and then, you know, squish out some more water out of your garment. It's just a lot easier than wetting a lot of towels. Yes, you can put it in the spinner too, in the washing machine, and spin it out if you're using a mesh laundry bag as well. So, but anyways, these are great and handy. So if you've never heard of that, get yourself. They're very inexpensive. So I bought that. And I just want to show you some yarn that has been gifted to me, sponsored by Lion Brand. And that was the Kobo yarn that I showed you before, that I used for the lace top. So they sent me this color, ice blue. So I have 3 cakes of this, and 3 cakes of this will do size 36 for my size. So the lace top that I showed you, I had maybe a ball this big around left over from the 3 cakes that I already used in the mauve color. And so I know I can get another top for myself out of these 3 cakes. So thank you, Lion Brand. That's actually HA Kid that I order my yarns from. And the other one that they sent me and sponsored and gifted to me was this one from Lion Brand as well, called True Boo. And this one is in the color Slate. So this one here is 100% rayon from bamboo. It is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. This one has 241 yards, 220 meters. And they're also using a 4mm needle with this. And it is a DK weight as well. So compared to the Kobo, this one has 232 yards, where this one has 241. So that's only 9 yards difference. So I would consider, yes, it's a little lighter, maybe just a hair lighter than this one, but not much. When you think of 9 yards through 100 grams, that is not much. So I would still use the 4mm needle with this yarn. And this yarn is just straight bamboo, 100%, where this one again is 51 cotton, 49% bamboo. So it'll be interesting to make this top again using this yarn to see how it wears and washes, and how it feels on the body as well. It feels very nice and cool and soft, just like this one. This was really nice to knit with. I used the 4mm needle on all of these tops, and I used a 3.5 on the ribbing. Now I normally, on this cotton one that I just did, the rust color one, I used the 4mm needle on the hemline because I didn't want it to cinch in, and I just wanted it straight down. I wanted to be more flowy and loose. So it's entirely up to you. I used the 3.5 on the collar, the neckline, and the cuffs. But on the bottom, it depends on the look you want and how you want it to fit. So that's entirely up to you. You can modify however you like. So those are my acquisitions that I acquired. And so that's about it. Let me see. So life update. It has been 3 months, like I said, and I mentioned in May that my husband was going to have a triple heart bypass. So he did have his triple heart bypass on June 3rd. So that was the reason why I was saying I'm not sure if I was going to be able to podcast, because I had to be a caregiver and do a lot of chores on his behalf. So it kept me busy, and I was, he needed to heal, and I wanted to be there for him. So anyway, so just for June, that's what happened, and why it's been so long for me to get back to this. So I had that was the big part of it, but then summer came and he started feeling better, and it was time for us to spend a bit of time together. And it was really super hot here in Peterborough and most parts. We'd have a lot of really hot days, like a few hot days, and then it would rain, which was great for the gardens and great for the grass. It has been the perfect summer that way. We haven't had to even water the lawn or the garden maybe once, and it's been just perfect. And it's sad in a way too, because I have a pool, and we didn't open the pool this year because my husband was going to be going through that surgery, and I didn't want to add any more stress or pressure on us and workload. So we just said we're not going to open it this year, and it was pretty hot summer. So I don't know what next year is going to bring, because it usually goes every other year. We have a good year and then a bad year and a good year and a bad year. So anyways, if next year is not the greatest year for the pool, I might consider a heater and be done with it, because I'm tired of waiting for perfect days to use the pool. And you only live once, and the grandchildren will want to come over, and nobody likes to go in cold water. So anyways, that might happen next year. So anyways, this is still in June. My daughter and I went to that Kawartha Yarn and Fibre Festival, and so I'm going to show some footage of that maybe at the end of this video, and you can see that. And my 3 granddaughters had birthdays, and so they're now 1 and 2 years old. We did a lot of bike riding, and I did a lot of knitting, as you can see through this podcast, getting a lot of sweaters made. July, we had a couple of friends stay with us for a few days. A friend of mine moved from Newmarket to Barrie, and she came for an overnight, and we did some bike riding and had a nice time with her. And then another couple of friends came from BC. They actually bought a mobile van home and drove from Vancouver, BC out to Newfoundland, and then made their way back here to Peterborough and stayed a night with us in their van, and we had a nice time together. We had a lot of doctor's appointments and follow-up checkups and stuff for my husband from having the heart surgery, so there was a lot of that. And we went to a family church picnic. We did a lot more bike riding and knitting, of course. And my husband's daughter and her family came from New Zealand, and they were here for 3 weeks, so we've seen them on maybe 4 different occasions. It was nice to see them and spend some time with them. So in August, I went to a baby shower for my niece, and I went to a live play with a friend. I had my whole family and nieces and nephews over last weekend for a family potluck barbecue, and we've done more bike riding since then. It was basically a chilled month. So anyways, that's been my 3 months of what I've been up to. So I would really like to hear what you've been up to these last few months since I've podcast, and I'd like to know what you're working on, whatever project that may be. Maybe you haven't been knitting or crocheting or working on projects so much in this heat, but if you have, I would love to know what you've been working on. Please leave it in the comments below, and what you've been up to. And if you're interested in going on the to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival with me and others, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you if you'd like to go and have your name put on the list. And you can send me an email about that if you'd like, ask any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. I will be talking to my travel agents this week and to talk to them more about it, see what plans have come about, so that I'll have more information for you. But I'm pretty excited about this. I can't wait to meet new people and just share that whole experience with you. So in the meantime, please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and that all helps my channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one in September. Probably the end of September. I'll be back for that. I'm trying to get back on a monthly schedule, and I usually do it at the end of the month. So anyways, I'll see you again. Happy knitting. Bye-bye for now.